So the subject is the figure of Guhyasamaja. Guhyasamaja means basically secret assembly. Guhyasamaja is one of the earliest tantras of the complex type, which means the highest yoga tantra, the fourth classification. It's probably 6th, 7th century and into the 8th. So Guhyasamaja is a male deity with a consort, and he has 3 faces and 6 arms. In a seated posture, he has, in each hand, he holds a symbol of each of the 5 Buddha families. Now, Guhyasamaja is important abstractly from a religious context point of view, because it really does give a lot of theory, tantric theory, which becomes a foundation for a lot of practices in Vajrayana Buddhism. Also, it's a very popular subject for painting and sculpture. So, to understand Guhyasamaja, we have this figure, common figure called Akshobhyavajra Guhyasamaja. He is really the main one we find in art, blue in color, peaceful, generally peaceful in appearance, but he can also be slightly, just very slightly fierce, with the mouth open, canine teeth showing, and sometimes has a third eye and sometimes does not, a third eye in the forehead. But this depends on the tradition coming out of India for these minor details in appearance. Now, to really understand Guhyasamaja, there's really only 3 main ones. There's this blue one that is most represented in art. Then there's what's called a Manjuvajra Guhyasamaja, and this is related to Manjushri. And he is orange in color, and his physical appearance is identical, but his attributes in the hands are different. Aside from being orange, then he holds very clearly a sword in the upraised right hand, one of the 3 right hands, and his consort also. So we have this sword kind of symbolism going on for the Manjuvajra. Now, more rare, we do have a red form of Guhyasamaja Lokeshvara that's based on Avalokiteshvara, but this is quite rare to find it in scroll works. We do see it in some murals occasionally. Now, there are others. There's a white form of Guhyasamaja, and I don't know the background for this, and I've only seen it in 1 or 2 paintings. There's also a Vajradhara Guhyasamaja, and again, this I'm not sure what the relationship is with Akshobhyavajra, because he's also blue in color. And then there's a Vajradvesha Guhyasamaja, and this is a standing figure of Guhyasamaja, usually solitary, and more wrathful than the others. And again, I have not seen the literature for this particular form, but again, it's extremely rare to find it in art, in any kind of art. So these are obscure. I'm giving you a few just really obscure Guhyasamaja forms, the white, the Vajradhara Guhyasamaja, and the Vajradvesha. So now, in terms of art, we really do find a lot of scrollwork paintings, and we find really a lot of sculpture. Now, the scrollwork paintings, we have 2 types. We have, in terms of depiction, we have Guhyasamaja being shown as a central subject in a painting with either registers or floating figures surrounding that may or may not be related to the actual Guhyasamaja himself. And then we have mandala paintings. And all of the earliest Guhyasamaja depictions in painting are almost all mandala depictions, and then they're also serving as a sort of ritual function, not just a depiction of an important deity practice, but the mandalas can serve in a ritual context as well. So just an introduction to the different types of Guhyasamaja.